Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
A soggy view from our Skycam today. The rain's been pretty steady so far, and that's causing outdoor activities to cancel for this evening. Let's head over to Hutch to find out if the rain will taper off this evening. Hutch?
Well, for some it is tapering off, but a look at our time lapse showing it has indeed been a very gray day with periods of moderate to heavy rain, as a matter of fact, with over an inch reported in spots around the FM area. Here's a look at rainfall estimates by Doppler radar. Jamestown, Valley City, and Point South, where you see the oranges and reds. 3 to 5 inches of estimated rainfall there. There is a flood advisory for our southwestern counties. The FM area looks like the heaviest of the rain has been in the southern half of the metro, with 1.5 to 2 inches there, closer to an inch up north. The active radar continues in Lakes Country, Otter Tail County through the southern Red River Valley, while thunderstorms are developing to the west and northwest. As a matter of fact, a funnel sighting at Mount Carmel. And it does look like there is the risk for some funnels tonight as some cold air moves in. Now, thanks to Tim for uploading this photo north of Langdon. Your forecast does show that our rain chances should diminish in the Southern Valley as we go through the 7 o'clock hour. Rain all night in Lakes Country. The thunderstorms out to the west will then be moving our way, but they'll lose some of their punch. We're going to keep our eyes on the skies for any of these funnels. Not expecting widespread outbreaks of severe weather, but that threat is there. We'll keep on top of it for you and have your forecast as we close out our work week here in just a couple of minutes.
That's right. Keep it right here for the latest.
You bet.
Thanks, Hutch.
We did come this morning. We knew it was raining, but we thought the traffic would be better.
Yeah. And was it?
It was a lot better. We were able to go through the whole street fair in about an hour and a half.
The street fair got off to a rainy start today in downtown Fargo, but that didn't deter many shoppers from checking it out. In addition to all the crafts, they found a new route when they arrived. But some vendors and store owners tell us they think business would be better if the fair had stuck to the old route. Valley News Team's Rose Itzkovitz trudged through the muddy waters to bring us the story.
No raining on this parade. The downtown Fargo Street Fair looked alive and well early Thursday on its opening day.
Great vendors, great things to see. We had a good time.
But with this year's route change, some of Broadway felt excluded.
We weren't very pleased with the changes. Street Fair is a very big event for our store and income for our store. So we were concerned about tents not being right out front.
While some business owners embraced the change.
I know there are some places on Broadway that felt like the street fair got in their way of business.
We always try to stay really optimistic and sometimes change is for the best.
Meanwhile, some vendors tell me the previous straight line through Broadway was better for business. Here's a map of the new route. Some vendors in this area here tell me they feel left out, as fairgoers may miss the smaller area. One vendor says he's hearing complaints from his shoppers.
With the rain and everything, it's hard to say for us. We're not getting the customer flow we were, but we've had customers tell us they don't like it. The fair doesn't flow for them to walk it, in other words.
The Downtown Community Partnership previously told me construction was one reason for the route change. But a store owner says all of Broadway will remain open except for one small parking area. The DCP tells me it has a lot to do with feedback from the City of Fargo's downtown master plan and complaints of the fair shutting down traffic through Broadway. Meanwhile, store owners outside the fair zone say once the rain stops, they'll set up sales on the sidewalk.
Our plan is to make this block happen just like it has in the past years during the street fair.
Don't let the change hinder people coming out here. We still want to see you. We'd still love to have you here. Just come out.
In Fargo, Rose Itzkovitz, Valley News Live.
We reached out to the City of Fargo regarding the feedback causing route changes, but haven't heard back yet. And last week, we brought you another concern about the street fair. Many vendors told us they were denied entry into the street fair, but were still waiting on their refund. One of those vendors says she took all the required steps to get her $750 deposit back from the street fair staff, but more than 2 weeks later, she still hadn't received it. That is, until she called our whistleblower hotline.
We watched the story on the news, and then the next day I opened up my PayPal and there was the money. So I'd gotten my refund from the Fargo Street Fair.
And you didn't have to call them again?
Didn't have to call them, didn't have to do anything. It was just there. So that was really nice.
In our previous story, we also told you how many people may have missed the Eventbrite email, either accepting or denying them a street fair booth. But Doreen Hurlburt says she went back through her email and still hasn't found any correspondence regarding that. And this year, local artists will have their own block at the fair between 4th and 5th Avenues North. You'll be able to browse through the artwork and maybe even walk away with some homemade soap. We're told the artistic talent this year is endless, with something for everyone to enjoy. A woman is behind bars after police say she and another man were breaking into garages in South Fargo. This woman, 25-year-old Chelsea Forshen of Dunseith, North Dakota, was arrested early this morning. Police say she and a male suspect were caught breaking into a garage in the 3000 block of 34th Avenue South. That's south of Essentia Hospital. When officers arrived on scene, the male suspect ran off. They arrested Forshen for burglary, false information, and an open warrant. Police arrested a Red Lake woman after finding drugs in her home. Red Lake police executed an arrest warrant for 42-year-old Angela Renee Bolio. While in the home, officers found several items consistent with drug use and sales, including paraphernalia, so they got another search warrant to look for illegal drugs. Officers found 3 grams of heroin, meth, and cash, and then confiscated a vehicle. Police say Bolio will face charges of illegal drug sales and possession of a controlled substance. 2 people were arrested after a fight involving baseball bats in South Fargo. Earlier today, Daniel Curtis was arrested for simple domestic assault, and Shane Burley was arrested for aggravated assaults. Both men are from Fargo. Police say it happened just before 4 in the 900 block of 5th Avenue South. That's an area a few blocks south of Hawthorne Elementary School. Police got a call about a fight involving several people and baseball bats, but when they showed up, some people took off and still haven't been found. No one was seriously injured. Police say everyone involved knew each other. A Wisconsin woman pleaded not guilty to 3 felony charges in Clay County Court this morning after she allegedly tried shooting a Minnesota trooper back in March. The charges against 30-year-old Melody Gray are attempted murder, felon in possession of a firearm, and possession of stolen property. In early March, State Trooper Mark Peterson responded to a vehicle crash on I-94 just east of Moorhead. According to the BCA's preliminary investigation, when Gray exited the vehicle, she pointed a gun at Peterson. Peterson then fired at Gray, hitting her in the arm. Gray, along with her passenger, Dominique Creighton, were both taken into custody. Trooper Peterson was not injured. A man who murdered a woman and her son near Perham, Minnesota in April has been found incompetent to stand trial and has been committed to the state hospital in St. Peter. 32-year-old William Hillman beat 42-year-old Denise McFadden and her 21-year-old son Dylan with a pipe wrench. Hillman had been living with the McFaddens. Hillman has been declared mentally ill. In fact, it happened 2 years ago after threatening to kill his mother. He had been diagnosed with schizophrenia but stopped taking his medication about 5 months before the murders. The man convicted in a double billing scheme that overcharged more than 200 police agencies in Minnesota has been sentenced to 30 days in jail. Jerry Warner was the longtime fleet manager for a Fergus Falls car dealership. An investigation by CARE TV found widespread overcharges on police vehicles sold under Nelson Auto Center's contract with the state. In a deal with prosecutors, Warner pleaded guilty to one of the counts of felony theft by swindle. He must also serve 5 years of probation, pay a $1,000 fine, and restitution. A state audit found taxpayers were overcharged over $800,000 on over 3,000 vehicles dating back to 2010. President Trump is expected to sign an executive order today, creating a national council for the American worker. It aims to tackle the challenges technology poses to the workforce. It's an issue that the advisor to the president and first daughter, Ivanka Trump, is involved in. Tonight on Valley News Live at 9 and 10, our D.C. bureau will have an exclusive interview with Ivanka Trump.